Danielle Fowler, present. My child Dennis. Hi. So we're supposed to go to a topic that is going to be interesting. Before we get there, we're going to talk about today and precursor. So today, I went out with my parents to Salt River, which was good at the beginning. Ended poorly. I don't have a phone anymore. The phone that is half broken, half working, as in half the screen works. So I have to keep rotating to get some part of it to do anything at task I need to do on it. Is now gone. The person with TV now, I realize says I fight no good. They're lost. And they stole my father's phone. And some important things. So that's not good. However, it was a good day. I actually preferred Salt River over Elshire, and I want to go back there despite the stolen things. But let's rewind, because going to Salt River with your parents who you just a month ago had said please leave me alone, which standed even while I was in the hospital. But let's rewind. I was advised by a lot of people that's been advising me, work with the system and get so you can get yourself out, because they're diagnosing you over and over with so many different things and changing their mind and going to something else and whatever, medicating me over and over and over. And I realized I have not once saying anything. There was no like a form 1 and then a form 3. It's all on the parental figures position to do the releasing, decision making, and everything, despite the fact that I thought I brought myself to hospital. So I had to work with the system. And one of that was, you know what? Putting my pride aside, not just pride, putting on my validation. Because I have valid reason to just stay there. I'll stay here for some time. But I put it all aside and I said, all right, thank you for coming by almost every day. Thank you for carrying fruits so that my bowels are pushed through because of the medication. And let's see, right? And it's on my pace. So with all of that, we're here where I went to the Salt River with them and I released from the hospital in their care, and pretty good right now. I have no issues so far. Mind you, I'm not doing anything yet. Yes, that's the thing. God has put me in a position before where I'm asked to do something. No, to stay. I'm in good position with someone, and we're good. We're on good terms, and I'm obeying the person's individuals. And then God just said, "All right, do this." And the pastor, a person, a parent says, "Don't do that thing." But God is saying, do this. And I have to now decide, who am I going to listen to? God or parent, pastor, person helping me or not? And I have to, not just have to, because, made a promise, as well as who are you really going to serve? Man or God? God, I get kicked out, I get cussed out, I get attacked, I get screamed at. Husband protects someone else. Husband acts on other things. In-laws exaggerate. In-law join in other things. Friend, long time does come and do whatever. Think they're standing in their own right. People set appointments I don't. even though they set for me that I've never agreed to, all the different things, and I still have to obey God. So if God said call husband, call husband. Husband not gonna answer phone, me know that. If he answer and go on with whatever, but I did call. I said, okay, God, I'm calling, hey. Alright, in the answer is always, alright, cool. You said, okay, I'm trusting you, God. Man would say, stop bother them, don't leave them alone, leave them alone. I was like, cool. But God just asked me to call husband. I hear you, wise decision, but it's a God decision I made. So I have not been placed in such a position yet where, let's label what happens. My parents panic, or my father had chip, as Jamaicans would say, and he impulsively calls the police, impulsively get whatever, impulsively do whatever, get exaggerate the whole thing, and grabs me. That's the problem. And we have not had that yet. He has gotten some things, and we're just talking about that first before we go into the meat of things. And so I'm cautious. That's where I'm cautious about. Instead of when God asks me to say, all right, you have a meeting this way to talk to doctor, but I need you on the plane now. Doctor have to wait. Even though they set the appointment, they have to reschedule it. You know what I'm saying? This parents say you have to there's this option, and God's like, no. Go out there so with your bag. Not even say find a place, Go out there so with your bag. I've seen him do that. God has told me to just move with your bag right there, so they move with your bag there, and I've gotten something at the end of it. That's at the hospital. We'll get there. So, as I said, we haven't reached there because I don't know if my parents are still on par with believing that God is guiding me. They just want to say I'm bipolar. At first, I don't know. Now they seem to be working with everything and working with me and trusting me. That's a problem. They're not trusting me. Or trusting God and trusting that I am guided by God. Anyways, the story. So I'm not gonna go deep into the beginning because I've done that a couple times. I made a video while I was at the hospital, and now I am making a video of what happened since then too. So I know I left off Twitter with injections in my butt, and I remember that was after I got the second site doctor. So there was the first one. The first one could not be longer be mine. Afterwards, we had a meeting, and they explained that because I know her, not like know her. She was in the same stream in high school with me, so we knew each other ish. Cause I looked at her like she looked familiar. She looked at me like I looked familiar. Then when she said her last name, it's almost like she's like, remember? I was like, and it's like my face went, huh. And that was the second time. So I've explained that I asked the first time and they gave me Seroquel. Seroquel is a very strong drug. My body rejected it. So Seroquel, but in the second day, she also gave me the Haldol, I think, yes. Or no, it was she. And then I got pushed to another doctor. This doctor now came to me and I was like, okay, so because they barely even sit for you to talk. They don't sit to talk. They stand there and watch you as you. There's no space where you feel comfortable. You sit and talk. That's what I had in Canada. They didn't. They just come to your bed and it's like, okay, so how are you? Whatever. Right? So when I now meet the other doctor, I was like, okay, so what are the symptoms? Because if you're saying I'm bipolar, what are you observing? It's like excessive talking. So I was like, excessive talking? What do you? And she's like, well, I'm not gonna go into it with you. Bye. And that's how they've treated me, those two, right? So let's fast forward to now. I'm getting injections in my butt because I'm being advised, right? I thought I brought myself to the doctor. I said, I'm going only with these people on my terms. These people said, we're going to his doctor. No, no, no. We're going to Maypen Hospital. So until a couple days to the end of this whole, what do you call it, stay at the hospital, I thought I brought myself in. It was close to the end that I started realizing the initial doctor registered me not as me bringing myself in, but as my parents. Despite they weren't there till long after. And I think it was a mixture of saying that I may have an appointment with someone or whatever, said whatever that may have been from the first intake doctor. And so I've learned that then. So please understand that I'm coming from that place. I'm coming from a place where I'm here on my terms, means that I should be able to can take myself out. Why is it I can't ask, can I be released? No. You're only a next of kin. I was like, what? Okay. I set a power of attorney because I started realizing I need this. And mind you, I've told my parents to respect that because this is bigger than just no. This is bigger than no. We are not at faith, testing, believing some of the promises God gave now and will happen in the future, which they are not going to have the capability to make the wise decision in God's eyes. Not the wise decision based on doctor's opinions, but in God's eyes. Right? So I ask them to respect that. Don't know if they're going to, but time will tell. And mind you, I'll re-establish that soon. I was doing that didn't work out. It's almost like nothing was working out. So because I'm going to be like, I brought myself in. This should be on my terms. I don't want a medication. All right, we write it down. We're going to get the injection. I was like, okay, I guess that's the result. They're forcing the medication. And for a good couple of days, I'm there. Okay, not taking the medication. Can you put not taking the medication? All right, you're getting the injection. I turned voluntarily. No one not told me I hold me down. Nobody held me down. I turned, I moved, and so the male guy there behind the curtain. All right, and they, all right, cool. And I was like, cool. I'm not afraid of needles. Never been. Even when I was like 5 and I got injection at school, everybody's laughing, crying, and I'm there. Okay. It's just a little prick first, and then you're good. Just want to give you a knee continuously going against your skin. Like, okay, no, thank you. I don't want something that's going in. Just one prick, and the pressure you feel. That's me. So I took it that way. But it's like nothing working out. And I'm fighting them because this is not right. Then I got the documents printed, cut them. No, that printed. Yeah, I had to get them. How much money we spend to print them paper there? Translation. Do you know how much money I spent to print those papers? I'm telling you, they did not come cheap. My brother had to go all the way to the hospital to get the documents physically. Then he scanned them upside down in the first place, but that's not even the problem. He had to go all the way to the hospital to get it, then scan them, then send them to me, taking up now Google Drive space, because you know that it's 25 gigabyte, 15 gigabyte, and it's a lot of pages, 195. Then I have to now get somebody to print all this and then get it to me. And actually, because I was supposed to do this in regards to time period, I remember now, I did that first before the power of attorney. And I printed the pages, and then I have to get them. I carried every last 195 pages to the doctors. And I expect them to read it, know what is there, and work accordingly. So not with what my parents or Mr. R. Riches or whatever said. It would be, you're working with facts. They're like, I went to the doctor. The second one, I was like, the documents are clear. Yes. She's like, yes, they're clear. And I'm like, but what am I doing here? Like, right? So here's the thing. I'm not even going to deny when I'm wrong. So there's sometimes I came off a little too strong and I was like, I'll see you in court. I'm still serious about that if possible. If certain things start working certain ways, I am not afraid to go to court. Right now, I think somebody is more than willing to work with me, pro bono ish, in the sense of maybe when they get whatever benefit, you take his cut. But I think he's willing to work with me. So seeing you in court is not so bad, not impossible. So I'm just like, wow. Anyways, I gave her documents that didn't work out. So I'm like, why am I still here? Okay, power of attorney. Boom. Can you do that? That didn't work out because I think the Holy Spirit stopped him. And that's when now another doctor came into the picture. And she's like, okay, I'm back from my leave. And here's the thing. Can you just trust me? I'll be your doctor. And I'm going to just take you as you are. We're not looking at the history, whatever. And we're going to diagnose from there, right? All right. We're taking out the... No, she didn't say the part. She wasn't the one that told me that they're taking out the psychosis. However, let's just work it in the dialogue what I'm creating here. We're saying that you're bipolar. So you come, pause on that. So that person come, saying we're going to start anew. And anew means you're telling me I'm bipolar. That you're going to observe me. You're telling me I'm bipolar. And you're still medicating me. But you're just going to choose a different medication. I need to write all of this down based on days too, because you're not going to observe me before you diagnose me and medicate me. You're going to just do it. That's where I have issues. Something with the superior, before I even reach there, is saying I'm bipolar, and nobody is not changing that. Right? Mind you, they did not observe me. So then, after a while, I was like, okay, what's going on? This pill, now the second one, even though it wasn't cognitive function, it's more like I was drowsy, I can't function still, I'm walking like into walls, dizzy, cannot function, but it's not as bad as the other. I'm trying to function but cannot remember some things in mid-conversation. It's not like I'm not remembering a date. I'm in mid-conversation and cannot remember a thought I was about to say. That even my landlord, who helped me out in some ways, came. I was like, no, something off that, you know. And I was like, yeah, I don't know. I'm noticing it too. I cannot even, you know, when you retrace yourself steps before you get back to your point, you're like, that's your point. I couldn't even do that. I don't remember everything. Just like squat. It's like if I'm talking now, like, where was I? Oh my god, what was I talking about? What was I? What's the original thought? Nothing. I could not get there. And then just to do something, you just feel like I'm drowsing. It's, even someone explained to me, a friend who is a nurse explained to me, there's a reason why patients reject these pills, right? And you did not check, my body is saying I don't need it. Why are you still doing this? My body is saying I don't need it. So I eventually asked, what are the side effects you're believing? I have them written down. The book is here, and the Bible that I always walk with. It's all here. Okay, so I asked the doctor to tell me what is what is she observing to determine this, right? Mind you, this is not nurses' information. This is just her. So whenever the small moment she gets to talk to me, where I'm in that cubicle, where I'm the only able-bodied person. There's one person who should be able-bodied, but she's 18, but she's being trapped or chained to her bed because of whatever situation. So I'm the only able-bodied. So there are people asking me to throw away stuff. They're asking me to take out stuff. Even nurses have to ask me where certain things are because they say me no way something them there, right? So if I'm like the body, the hands, the mouth, the legs of those who can't move in my little cubicle of beds. And so I've seen the doctor come at a time when I'm carrying out something to throw away, and she's like, okay, I'll come to you afterwards. And then come and spoke with me, or not spoke with me that day. So please take that in mind. So for the reported symptoms, irritability, decreased need for sleep, delusions of grandeur, pressured speech, increasing goal directed activities. We'll get back to that. When I got this note, when I asked for it, was when after we meet together, the three doctors, no, the superior finally, or I met her a little bit before that, I don't remember. No, that's when I met her. She's like, do you think I want to lose my certification or whatever the thing is? Because to be a misdiagnosis, whatever you lose, whatever. Here's my thing: you could be wrong. You could be wrong. It doesn't have to lead to that thing. But based on my case, I'm not gonna push for you to lose your license. However, if you're gonna act like you can never be wrong, and I can be sure that I was wrong. So, for example, let's correct something here. My parents didn't come to Sunday; they came on Friday. I did not know they were here since then, and they just went for the cheapest flights and could travel all. They were prepared to travel from Montego Bay, and they took it. So that's that, and I'm willing to admit that I was wrong with that. However, still doesn't change what happened and the fact that they were supposed to still quarantine because they didn't take the negative test. And they were there waiting the night beyond the curfew time. And her, let's come back to this. So she's like, do you really think I'd want to lose my license? You don't have to lose your license to be wrong first time or three times or whatever. You don't have to. And a lot of things, they barely want me to speak. And it's almost like they know that I'm eloquent in defending myself. So they want to, cut it down. Cut it at the roots so that I don't even get to speak. And so she's like, well, we think you are bipolar, not bipolar with psychosis. So be care, because psychosis is very, very visible based on what I'm understanding. That even the second intake doctor is like, when I keep seeing her, she's like, you're still here? She's like, yeah. She's like, what? Okay, I'm gonna look out for you and whatever, in the sense of check out something. I don't remember what she really did, but there's other people like, I even heard from a guy who said that two people confronted my father and said, how cause are you? Why your peer daughter still there? And cuss. And I was like, and I was looking at it like, God is fighting my battles. You don't have to fight my battle. I don't even have to see a thing. Because when I was up in my heat of anger with them, I didn't have to react in front of them. I'll be there sleeping and they touch me. You see how turn around completely on the bed and go sleep back. Obviously wake up with some and then move to somewhere else. I didn't say a word. Because that's what they wanted. They wanted me to say, oh, look at me, I don't need to get there. Never did. Never need the medication to stop me from holding my composure. I know how to hold my composure. I know how to just, and if I know something is going to trigger me, I step away, walk away. I know to do that. That's what the doctor should have looked out when I was in the room and he's like, yo, you have to walk away. Yes, I have to walk away or you'll overreact and y'all will be thinking like, no. I know how to hold my composure. So now I'm back in, let's talk back about the meeting. And I'm in there and she's like, well, we're going to try this. Can you give us 1 week? Give us 1 week on the olanzapine and let's see what happens. Like, okay. Well, what's that supposed to mean? It's almost like they do medicine therapy just to see which one works with your body. We don't care about really if it's a real diagnosis. If it's a diagnosis based on just observation. Everybody that come there asks, even the security, and this is the thing about this, the whole time I'm there, for the most part, I could have walked out with my bags and nobody stopped me. No security stopped me if I wasn't so honest. If I wasn't an honest person, I could have walked out. And then they took my personal effects. They took it before the meeting for the 1 week in the Atlanta plan. But I still could have walked out with no money and find my way places. I could have walked out. Then when every day someone who's like, are you a patient? Are you a med doctor or a student? Doctor, somebody like, oh, I want to talk to you about I'm just a patient. If I wasn't so honest, I could have walked out and leave already. Even the security's like, you're a visitor? Like, no, okay, step back. That's the thing. So now this ain't gonna last the fine. And then I was like, fine. The next day, I felt myself. And I could be like, yo, I actually can run. Cheese on peas. So I'm like, I step and I just like, what? I didn't even realize how deep I was gone. My personality and everything was gone. And then somebody say, yo, you see Wednesday? It's like you come back to yourself. Before that, you're so loopy. Notice it. And this person I've never talked to, She tell me she never talked to her before. I see her around. And I'm talking, just walking, and then I know I have energy. I like, the energetic side of me. Who knows me, I'm energetic. Whatever, not too much energy that it's unexplainable. But I am Danielle. I can run, walk fast. When I get that from my father, I might run across the road instead of walk. I'm energized and an energizer. Right? So the first day I switched, mind you, it could be just the first day I'm off of any medication they give me. Right? So now after that 1 week, and that 1 week was, they said let's trust God, and before then God was like, let go of the power of attorney, let go of everything, and just trust God. Just trust me, right? And then she said, just give us 1 week and trust God. Just leave it in God's hands. And took it as a confirmation. And because here's the thing, even though they're still on it, after that 1 week, I was like, okay, so you guys see, I'm not bipolar. No. They're like, no, it's not what it's about. I was like, oh, no, not the panel. This time it was just the doctor. She's like, no, you're bipolar. We're not saying that. We see that the pill's working. So I went somewhere and they just cast it on me. This is why I say choose. I'm telling you to choose what you want to think I am. I know what I am, and I'm not letting anybody else push me there. But if you want to think whatever, I ain't stopping you. Where you want to choose. A place where the doctors and nurses know exactly where you are, and if you don't know in 15 minutes they'll panic. You're not even able to look like not a patient. You're not able to touch your devices or make a video, much less. Yeah, as I was interrupted, it's either you choose Canada, intensive observation that's needed to make sure that they can make sure that you are, whether it's mentally sound and or not, or medicine therapy with the instant medication for an unvolatile person who you just meet in one conversation, you decide has bipolar and psychosis because of what the parent said. Mind you, both scenarios, both my parents have shared what they believe and said at the beginning, and they were considered in both scenarios, was considered a possibility. But in the end, two different things. I leave it to you. You. Yeah. Leave it to you. It's what you want to think. And when it's time, if God said it's time to deal with it legally, deal with it. Because He already providing ways. But as I said, it's time.